Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On Days of Our Lives today, Rafe goes into a coma, Marlena confronts EJ, Roman counsels Eric, and Nicole snaps at Leo when he witnesses Connie leaving Bobby's room. When Roman walks into the pub carrying his bags, he runs into Eric. Eric should be in Paris, right? Why is he with Jude, and why? Want to introduce yourself to your grandson? With a smile, Eric asks. He consoles a distraught Roman, who is wondering if Eric and Nicole would ever get back together. Marlena takes Leo's call when she is outside the DiMera estate. She reminds him curtly that he needs to schedule an appointment. Leo is inviting her to see Drag Race this weekend instead of requesting therapy. John is welcome to attend as well, and they may even conduct it at his house. He's going to get room service. Marlena is going to respond to him. Before hanging up, he brags about her being the only shrink in town who enjoys Drag Race. Nicole arrives at the spectator office in a rage, while Leo recoils from his excessive thirst. She snaps at Leo for being aware of Jude's true identity. Leo reassures her that he is working with Marlena in therapy to improve himself. Nicole questions whether Marlena is aware of his role in leading everyone to assume Jude was a DiMera rather than her grandchild. Leo claims he was unaware that Jude was Eric's son. At last, it occurs to him why EJ paid him to remain silent. Nicole is shocked to learn this new detail. Leo offers his heartfelt regret for his actions. Nicole tells him he can compensate her by giving a courtroom testimony. Marlena enters the DiMera living room with composure. EJ informs her that Jude is not present, assuming she came to visit him. "This is what I really came for," she adds, giving him a slap. EJ calms down and acknowledges that she has every right to be upset. For what he did to protect his son and wife, there is no justification. EJ glares at Marlena while holding his hand to his cheek. Connie tells Bobby at the Salem Inn that she used a sharp knife to stab Rafe in the back. He stiffens. He opposed having him killed. According to Connie, he wanted him gone. What more was expected of her? Take him to an exclusive island? By taking the commish out of commission so he could be with Jada, she fulfilled her half of the agreement. Rafe is having surgery, Kayla informs Jada and Gabby in the hospital lobby. The blade went into his lung. Until they enter, they won't be able to determine the full degree of the damage. Gabby discovers that someone killed Rafe in the same manner as Lee was killed after Kayla dashes off. Jada promises to follow up on every lead. Gabby believes the knife will help her identify the perpetrator. Eric informs Roman that he hasn't seen Nicole since she told him about Jude at the pub. Thinking that she's giving him an opportunity to spend quality time with his son. Roman believes that after everything settles, Nicole will see that nothing is stopping her from getting back together with him. According to Eric, he may not stay in Salem. Roman questions why, given the opportunity to achieve everything he has ever desired, he would even consider leaving. Bobby fears there will be a murder inquiry at the Salem Inn. It doesn't seem good, but Connie is unsure if Rafe is dead. Bobby is upset, but Connie explains that if Rafe passes away, Jada would be devastated and will need someone to help her get over it. Is that not what Bobby desired? Bobby identifies him as the guy posing as Everett. In any case, Connie fulfilled her half of the agreement. Will he follow suit? Bobby tells her that he will keep her citing the night of Lee's death a secret. However, no one will ever be able to see them together, especially now that Jada believes Everett has locked away Lee's killer's identity. Jada approaches Rafe's hospital room with solemnity. The bed is vacant, the covers stained with blood. She bags the bloody knife that's on the counter and puts on latex gloves. She grabs Rafe's shirt and presses it to her face while crying. Leo refuses to testify against Salem's DA at the Spectator. Nicole intends to have EJ imprisoned rather than just divorce him. It should work if Leo testifies that EJ paid him to remain silent. Leo wants no involvement in that. Leo refuses to testify, but Nicole tries to talk to Rafe about giving him immunity. The loss of his wife and child has caused EJ enough suffering. Now, as Eric and Nicole get closer, he will have to see the realization of his darkest nightmare. Making fun of Nicole and Eric's story of love at the mansion, EJ describes all the times he saw them become dependent on one another. But he believed that if he had enough time, he could make Nicole fall in love with him even more than she had with Eric. He reminds Marlena of Stefano, who never enjoyed losing. EJ describes how he lost Samantha and then acknowledges that he went too far in his effort to hold on to Nicole, the person he really loves. Now though, it's all moot. Now that their son is back with Nicole and Eric, he has nothing. Marlena has no sympathy for him. He's merely presenting a fact, EJ retorts. For her, everything should be okay since he got his comeuppance. Marlena hopes this is only the beginning of his pain. Eric suggests to Jude in the room above the pub that Roman may have been correct about Nicole. She gives his door a knock. EJ receives divorce papers in the interim. All right, Marlena. It appears that my retribution will arrive sooner than anticipated. Connie stops Leo in the corridor of the Salem Inn as she leaves Bobby's room. His lady whistleblower column makes her drool. Excited to meet a fan, he inquires as to if she is one of Everett's friends. She rushes off, saying they go way back. Kayla informs Jada and Gabby that there has been a problem at the hospital. While the doctors attempted to remove a clot from Rafe's lung, he fell into a coma. Asking the women to pray for him, she says. While Paulina was on the phone trying to get in touch with Rafe again, Abe entered the room at Abe and Paulina's apartment. Paulina couldn't understand why the call had stopped so suddenly. If Rafe needed her, she figured he would get back to her. Then Paulina summoned a crew member to fill in Abigail's grave, telling him to do so that some poor soul wouldn't fall in. She and Abe both expressed shock at the situation and sympathy for Chad as she concluded the call. Paulina later saw Abe reading about Body and Soul. He acknowledged that he had been looking into the show for a business proposal that Kate had presented, despite her teasing him. When Abe mentioned that he might produce the show, Paulina laughed at first because she didn't realize he was interested in TV production. Still, she became receptive to the notion and offered her support. As he was such a devoted fan, she informed Abe that he had an audience waiting for him and that it would be a labor of love. Abe raised concerns about the workload, citing the show's lengthy history and outlandish stories. Stories he'd told Paulina about aliens, talking dolls, and split personalities. Paulina raved about the possibility of marrying a big-time TV producer and talked merrily about going to the Daytime Emmy Awards. Paulina was forewarned by Abe not to get ahead of herself because he and Kate still have rights to protect. When Paulina asked if they could film the show in Salem due to tax incentives, Abe reassured her that they could relocate to Los Angeles. Paulina pondered whether the celebrities would be open to moving to Salem and abandoning Hollywood. The parts could always be recast, according to Abe, even if he would like to use the same actors. He gave Paulina an explanation of the customary procedure. Abe informed Paulina that, just a few weeks before, she would have leaped at the chance to travel to Los Angeles, but Paulina was relieved that they wouldn't have to relocate. Paulina acknowledged the argument, but she wanted to be there for her daughter, and Chanel was staying in town, after all. Paulina was assured by Abe that he would never ask her to abandon her work or her family. Paulina made a joke about how her work would make a great soap opera, especially after the drama with EJ. Abe concurred that the events in Salem were excellent material for soap operas. When Kate finally showed there, she declared that she had convinced Chad to become an investor. Paulina was thrilled to offer to invest as well, but Abe dissuaded her because of possible conflicts of interest arising from her role as mayor. In addition, Kate told the couple that she had scheduled a meeting with the studio to talk about getting the show's rights. Paulina exclaimed, "You're going to bring Body and Soul back from the dead," as Abe grinned at the news. Once they returned to the hospital, Kayla and a nurse attended to Rafe, who was lying on his side. In the room with Kayla was a distraught Jada, who inquired about Rafe's well-being from her. To allow the crew to assist Rafe, Kayla instructed Jada to go outdoors. Jada made a call outside the room, demanding that the individual who had harmed Rafe be found. After hanging up, she remembered the day she had decided to move in with Rafe. She recalled telling Rafe that he was her person and that he had restored her faith and love. Gabby hurried out of the elevator as Jada became upset and inquired about her brother's whereabouts. When Jada told Gabby, Gabby was astonished and couldn't figure out who may have done the crime. Once back in the room, Kayla told the nurse there was no visible injury to her spine. The monitors started beeping all of a sudden. "He's going into shock," Kayla called the nurse. "He's leaving us." Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.